A good game needs a good final boss, and Pokemon is no exception. Someone to test your strength, to put an example of what you should strive to become. That's right, I'm talking about champions. Every Pokemon game since Generation 1 has had one. They're often one of the most beloved characters in their respective games, but not all of them are as great as some others. So that's why I'm going to be ranking every single Pokemon champion to figure out who is the best. I think the qualities of a good champion is being strong, imposing, and just a challenge overall. But we'll also be taking a look at their outfits, design, and whatever else is relevant. Let's kick things off with Red. He is so iconic and a true prodigy in the world of Pokemon, though that logic can be applied to any of the protagonists since, you know, we're the ones controlling them. Red is just the most iconic one, and has had many different appearances throughout many games. I think the encounter most people remember is finding him all alone up in Mount Silver. It was such a memorable moment for many people, just seeing him standing there, menacingly. He doesn't say a word and doesn't speak at all for the most part. And he doesn't need to, he just gets the job done. I just don't want to serve him at a restaurant. Are you going to order or not? We get to see him when he's a little older too at the battle tree, and he hasn't changed one bit. I think he has a really nice design. Red has had many different variations of his outfit, and I'm honestly not sure which one's my favorite. I really like his hat. It's so simple but great. His original design also had a red open jacket with a black undershirt. Or so I thought! While looking at Red's concept art for Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, I made a discovery that will shatter the Pokemon community as we know it. Red's jacket doesn't have white sleeves. His shirt does. What? Even the cosplayers got this wrong, and they don't get anything wrong. And you know what that means? Red's jacket isn't a jacket. It's a vest. My entire worldview is shattered and my day is ruined. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, he got an updated design. His hat got changed to a semicircle, and honestly, I don't know which one I prefer more. He also has a more pronounced popped collar, and has what I legally have to call a vest from now on, this time zipped up. Also, his hair is brown now, for some reason. I prefer the black hair, but it's not that big of a deal. This time his undershirt makes a little bit more sense too. It's not a black shirt with white sleeves, it's just a black shirt now, which makes things a little better, I guess. And finally in Sun and Moon, we see him free from his vest. He has a cool t-shirt with 96 on it, which is the year Pokemon Red and Green released. And his hat is now a little different. Not sure why there's a line through it, but to be fair, my logo also does the same thing. He also has a little watch now to let him know exactly when it's Billup time. We've seen many versions of his character too, and although I'm not sure how many of those have vests, two of my favorites are from Pokemon Origins and the Adventures manga. In Origins, we actually hear him speak and watch him grow from being an inexperienced trainer to one of the strongest out there.
That's right. It wasn't really a tough decision. The thing is, my dad gave me the name Red, hoping that when I grew up, it would help me have the passion and energy of a red-hot fire.
And I love him in the Adventures manga. His hair is really cool and different from what we've seen before, and he's a little goofier, but he still knows when to get the job done. Plus, he wears his hat backwards sometimes, so that's how you know he's cool. His champion theme is also just so iconic and sounds so intense. I feel like my life is in danger. Overall, I think he's an amazing champion with a great design, cool attitude, and intimidating presence. He really sets the bar for future champions to come, so he gets to be placed in S tier. Blue is back and better than ever. He was in my Rivals video, but now he took the title of champion, and he did so right before you were able to, only proving that he's always one step ahead of you. Even though his time as champion was short-lived, you gotta respect that he was able to obtain the title to begin with. But this isn't about rivalry this time. This is about being champion. His smug attitude honestly makes him really cool, and although his design's so simple, it just works. His battle theme's alright, but for a final fight, I think it gets the job done. He gets to go in S tier, specifically behind Red, because fuck you. Again, like in the Rivals video, Trace is an absolute joke. He'd probably hand over the title for a ring pop or something. Go back to the playground where you belong, D tier. Lance is a really cool champion. When I think Dragon Master, I think of Lance. But he's a good-for-nothing cheater! I know what you did, Lance! I know you gave your Dragonite steroids to get moves earlier. Sir, this is a Wendy's. He was a member of the Elite Four in Generation 1, and since Red went to chill out at the top of Mount Silver, I'm guessing Lance took over in his place. He not only took his spot, he also took his battle theme because they both share the same one. I don't mind too much though, because again, I really like their theme. Lance also has a really cool design. I love his outfit, the color scheme matches him very well, and his cloak is so cool. However, as much as I like Lance, he technically didn't earn the title of champion, it was just kind of handed to him since Red stepped down, so I think it'd be appropriate to put him in A tier. Short for A fraud, get him out of here! Steven fucking Stone. What can I say? The guy's got class. His dad is the president of Devoncourt, but he isn't some snooty rich boy who's a douchebag to everyone. He's really respectful, calm, and collected. Mr. Stone, I never knew you were a man of religion. His outfit is so simple, but it just fits him so well. It's clean, sleek, and high class. I love it. He was also somewhat challenging, and his battle theme sounds like someone fighting for their life. Seriously, what the fuck? Steven really likes Rux. like really, really likes rocks. Like really, really, really likes rocks. I wouldn't doubt if he actually ate them. Despite his love for rocks, he specializes in steel types. Kinda confusing, but hey, can you blame him? Steel type is one of the strongest types out there. I really can't find anything to hate about Steven. He's just an all-around cool guy, and cool guys like him got to go in S tier. I'll be honest, I'm not that big of a Wallace fan. Look, I know, Wallace is cool, but Steven is just cooler. It's never explained if Wallace defeated Steven or if Steven just stepped down. But in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Steven talks about stepping down from the title of champion to travel the world, giving the title to Wallace. And I really hope that's not how Wallace got the title, because if he did, that'd be so lame. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he did defeat Steven. He has a really cool hairstyle and his outfit is really up in your face, but he pulls it off. I do really like his design from Emerald too. Having the cloak around him just makes him look so mysterious and cool. His niece Licia is cool too and also has a great sense of fashion, but this isn't about her. Well, again, I'm not the biggest Wallace fan out there. I can recognize him as being pretty great, so he gets to go in A tier. If there is anyone who strikes fear into the hearts of many, it's Cynthia. She is by far the most difficult champion on this entire list. Her design is fantastic and everyone knows it because she has had no changes from her design since her debut. Her black coat, pants, and hair thingies complements her blonde hair so well. She also has this really calm yet confident demeanor constantly. Like she knows exactly what she needs to do. I also really like her battle theme. It truly feels like a fight to end all fights. And we can't forget about the time we walked into a random house in Gen 5 and found her. Jesus fucking Christ, I didn't know this was a horror game. And many people can agree with me. She has a fascination with Sinnoh's history and mythology, and is overall just really cool and collected. I think she's a perfect example of what a champion should strive to become, so she's going to the top of S tier. And was also in the Rivals video, so if you saw that, you already know how amazing the character he is. He's so mysterious and imposing, so he's well deserving of the title, but he ultimately turns it down despite defeating Alder. Maybe he just did it out of spite, who knows. His design is awesome and he has a really great battle theme. It just sounds so intense, but despite all of that, he technically was never champion, but if I don't put him on the list, his fans will come after me, so A tier? That's good enough, right? I don't really remember much about Alder. He has the potential to be really cool, but he's just not that memorable. His design's alright, and his champion theme isn't anything to write home about. It honestly sounds like a route theme, and I don't know why, this is just coming into my head now. He kind of reminds me of Jiraiya from Naruto. I think I remember him being slightly annoying in the anime, but then again, I'm not too sure. I'll throw him down in C tier. Could be worse. Iris was super annoying in the anime. If I hear her say, "You're such a kid," one more time, I'm gonna rip off my ears. She did redeem herself in Journeys though, so I can't be too mad at her. I really love her outfit and design. She has really pretty hair. It's a major upgrade from what her design used to look like. Her theme is honestly really underrated. I didn't realize it was so good. It's a lot more upbeat, but still really intense. I would have her higher up, but her anime counterpart annoyed me so much as a kid, so I'll put her in A tier. I feel like that's fair. Diantha was honestly really forgettable too. Or maybe I just want to forget that terrible haircut. Seriously, why do you want to look like a mini-or? I do think that her battle theme is really nice though. It sounds whimsical yet imposing, and her outfit isn't too bad either. I think the main thing setting her design back is the hair. She looks like someone who would correct you at Starbucks for calling a venti a large. I don't give a shit, Diantha. It's a large at the end of the day. What are you, blind? It's been a long time since I played X and Y, but I remember her being somewhat difficult, or maybe I'm just misremembering. Either way, her specializing in fairy types is really cool, but that's not saving her. To D tier you go. D for Diantha. As much as I love How, he could never intimidate me with the position of champion. I just wouldn't be able to take the guy seriously. You could probably bribe him with a malasada or something. His outfit's pretty bland. It's something you would probably wear on vacation or something. His haircut is a lot better than Diantha's though, and his battle theme was pretty great. As much as this pains me, How is going in B tier. I'm sorry, I love How to death, and that's stopping me from putting him any lower. Look, Professor Kukui's a really cool guy, but I feel like he's better as a fun-loving professor rather than having the champion title. It's sort of like How with How. I get it. I just can't take him seriously. It's like your friend's goofy dad. He's awesome, but they aren't really that intimidating. I'm not really a fan of his battle theme, to be honest. It sounds more like an orchestra than a battle. His design is simple, but I like it. But he's still gonna go in B tier. The Masked Royal, on the other hand. Leon was hyped up the whole game, and you always heard about him from NPCs. And this is how you hype up a boss fight. If everyone in the region talks this much about him, he must be a threat. But then you fight him and it turns out he's a complete pushover. I feel like if he was actually a challenge, I would like him a lot more. Like, he's a fun character and I like that he gets lost a lot, but he's gotta live up to the pedestal everyone's putting him on. I also hated how much he stole the spotlight from us. There would be a problem, and instead of us fixing it, Leon went ahead and did it himself. What the fuck? I'm the main character. His design is both a hit and a miss for me. Like, there is potential, but he just looks like Shadow Kamoshida to me, or maybe like someone who got dressed in the dark. On top of that, he's a walking billboard. His battle theme is also a hit and a miss. It's alright, but sometimes it sounds bad? I don't know. He had all the setup to be great, but it went south each time, so I'll put him in B tier. Finally, I can eat my meal without some stupid purple-haired lady putting tomatoes in it. Did you like mustard with that? Huh? I honestly forgot mustard was a person, let alone a champion at one point. We never got to see him in his prime, and I think he's better suited to run his little dojo or whatever. He's just some old guy in a tracksuit. And his battle theme sounds pretty cool, but I'm gonna have to throw him in D tier. Also, I just want to say, what is wrong with his eyebrows? Why are they so long? It's creepy. Remember what I said about Kukui being a cool dad? Well, Peony is that cool dad. He was a gym leader and then later became the champion of Galar until Rose came along and became the chairman. And I don't blame him because Chairman Rose sucks. But thankfully, Peony is way better than his older brother. He cares for his daughter and likes hanging out in the mines. And his battle theme is so groovy. Oh my god, I love it. To be honest, I wish he was the champion of Galar instead of Leon. Leon just seems so full of himself, but Peony is a humble father. Although we never get to see him as champion, I think he deserves a spot in B tier. He's just a fun-loving dad who wants to spend time with his daughter. I really can't find a reason to hate him. I hate Geeta. Her design weirds me out. She has really weird body proportions. She's so lanky, scrawny, and tall, and on top of that, she has really weird hair and eyes. She looks like a sleep paralysis demon. If I close my eyes, maybe she can't hurt me. I feel like her outfit would look nice on someone else, but it's just not for her. There's also theories that she's possibly evil. I didn't really like her in the plot either. She seems really entitled. Like, why can't she give up the title of champion already? She lost. I don't give a shit if you're the first. That doesn't give you the right to stay as champion. And you aren't even a good battler. Who in their right mind sets up with stealth rocks last second? What's wrong with you? She at the very least had a good battle theme, but that's not saving her at all. Have fun at the bottom of D tier where you belong. Nemona is such a lovable character. Her whole personality is her love for Pokemon battles, and she just wants to fight everything. She even goes as far as to help you become as strong as her so she actually has a worthy opponent. On top of that, I love her design a lot. The little green strand of hair is so simple but adds so much. Although I do really wish her outfit wasn't just the school uniform. If I became champion and still had to go to school, I'd be pissed. She's leagues better than Geeta. I also love how upbeat her theme is. It's a really nice change of pace from all the intense themes we've heard in the past. I'm not really a fan of calling Nemona a yandere, but I do like calling her Goku, since they both share a love for fighting and act stupid sometimes. She gets to go in A tier for not only being so unique, but also so lovable. Let me know if you agree with these rankings. Just keep in mind that at the end of the day, this is my opinion. If you want to believe that Geeta's the best champion, go right ahead. Just know that you're wrong. Anyways, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord, follow my socials. Tomatoes suck. Bye!